operation, they're happy when it's sunny, but not too often, and then when it rains for a little bit, are the good, fine, hardworking folks over the Department of Agriculture. We have Christopher Rosario, who I want to say probably has the coolest virtual background we've seen in at least the last year and a half. Chris, good morning, bro. He is the bee man. Good morning. Good to have you here. And then, of course, Frank Alberto joins us here. He's been on the show many, many times. Frank, good morning. Good to see you as always.
Morning. Thank you.
And then our friend Ursula Herrera, who was telling us during the commercial break, she likes this because she spent many, many years in Seattle. So she was in the Pacific Northwest. And Urs, how does this rank the rain today to, to that weather in Seattle that you have to go outside and basically invest in Gore-Tex?
Well, Chris and I we spent quality time in the Pacific Northwest. So we're missing the good coffee from Cafe Vita and strolling through the park.
There you go.
We can only take it for one day, not for 13 years. So
well, Chris, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on the rain here. How does it rank to Seattle's? I actually like this. I like the 9-pound raindrops on Guam.
Very similar.
There you go. And for you guys, going out to the park is cool. Like me, I always like being in the public market over in Seattle, throwing the fish, but that's a completely different interview for another day. But you guys are here right now. We're talking about agriculture. Let's just get started with the obvious question, right? The storm that we were tracking and that we were looking at it continues to pass to the south of us. Closest point of approach was around 6 a.m. When it comes to your respective areas of expertise and everything like that, it's been so dry lately, and now we get a little bit of rain. So how does that affect, your operations, your work, and your studies?
With all this extra rain, have to take some out of the seedlings. Oil is waterlogged or whatnot, right? So prevention measures. So we take them out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, obviously the plants are going to welcome some of the rain a lot more. And Ursula, Sabrina, who's here in the Zoom room as well. Sabrina and I had the great pleasure of being able to hang out with you at the Agena Heights Mayor's Office a few weeks ago because you guys actually had that wonderful program with the judiciary, and we were celebrating
that was so fun.
Yeah, thank you, and young people who learned how to grow plum tomatoes.
The hashtag is still going strong. They're still posting their updates of their tomato plant babies. Yeah, the Guam Future Farmers 2021. So it's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I know the farmers are happy right now with this rain. So
absolutely.
And charging the aquifers, so you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, being someone who really enjoys working with bees and is an expert on bees, and how does a sudden we got a lot of wind, there's a lot of rain, bushes and trees and whatnot are going to be even if we don't have storm conditions over the next couple of days, they're still going to be blustering more than they normally would and everything like that. So how does this affect your operations?
Yeah, so actually it sort of does affect operations, at least not on the human side, but on the bee side, it certainly does. I mean, you imagine you're a bee and you go out and you get hit by a rain droplet, right? So and then also when bees forage for nectar, right? The problem is with rain, the rain flushes nectar out of the flowers. So production, in terms of honey production, it's not that they don't get as much nectar, and so honey production ends up being very low in the rainy season.
Mm-hmm.
So
and if the honeycombs get all washed out or even broken, they get blown off and everything like that, what does that mean for the actual bees themselves? Are they basically displaced as far as having a home?
Yeah. So so bees that are in the boxes, bees that are enclosed, they're not as affected. But the open colonies, the colonies that are hanging by the tree, those are severely affected by the weather. But I mean, quite frankly, our bees, for 100 years have outlasted some of the typhoons too. So
nice.
Yeah. So it really all depends But yeah, some of the combs end up breaking apart. I've seen several beehives. You get knocked down from from storms, from like Typhoon Dolphin was the past one.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we have a few casualties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know a tremendous amount about bees per se, but I've worked with the lovely Sabrina Salas Matanani, and we anchored like the show together for many years, and I have something in common with bees because when it comes to dealing with someone as talented as Bree, I do know that you don't make the queen mad, so that's what I have in common with bees.
Yes, very true. Yeah, you don't want to make the queen mad.
She's gonna wring my neck
Okay.
later. Okay, so Frank, how about you and everything? You've always talked to us about about what it means to network, and you specialize in fisheries, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm part of the fisheries division.
Yeah, obviously, it's been really hot, but that conditions may favor some of the fishermen depending on your on your
Mm.
point of view, or where you go on the island and everything like that. But these are interesting times right now. Could a little bit of
Yeah,
rain, a little bit of
absolutely.
wind be actually like a good thing?
Yeah, so for at least for the boats that go out and fish, of course it's not good if the weather's bad, but what's interesting is when we do like our inshore surveys, when we survey the fishermen that just fish along the shore, sometimes we learn some things about them that maybe when it's a little bit more rainy and the sea surface temperature is a little bit better, a little bit cooler, it's better for them to go fish for Minahawk. So it's nice to get that indigenous knowledge from our fishermen when we have these changes in weather, and we can learn a lot from them.
Okay. Well, we were mentioning like the queen bee earlier and everything, so here she is right now, Christine Farron. Half a day, Chris.
Company. Sorry, I was coordinating a planting with the guard, and the call got carried. Went too long. So sorry.
No worries. How are you?
We're good. Borscht is
Obviously, you
doing
never stopped
well.
working despite the conditions.
I don't know about that. I love my job. Love it. So, but we've got the guard has a planting scheduled with us, and it'll be for July 1st. And the great thing is, it's going to kick off our rainy season, our first planting of the season. And it's a small scale. It's just 20 some plants, but it's something to look forward to. We're excited,
Mhm.
and two of our youth affairs interns are actually on the site visit today with the crew, so it's exciting. They're already in in the field working.
That's a heck of a first day on the job, I must say.
We don't mess around in forestry. It's like automatic.
Well, let me ask you that. Now, I mean, I think it's very apropos that you just joined right now, because we are now experiencing, and Landon Idlet of the NWS was here a couple hours ago, and he was saying, we might have some rain as the tail end of this storm, like kind of the east side, bring some rain and wind here. But Christine, for the last few days, we were actually experiencing very dry conditions, and there were some fire watches.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the crew actually they responded to a fire last week. I think it was Friday, and it's interesting, right? Like you get all of this dry weather. So this rain, I'm looking out the window. I mean, it's great to get some enduring rain, get our ground saturated again, get our vegetation watered. Hopefully this brings with it continued rain and our season starts,
Mm-hmm.
because that dry season has definitely, it was
So
hot.
yeah, so
Really
maybe
hot.
looking forward, and you can all like unmute your mics and just jump in and kind of riff off each other as you see fit. But what do the next few months bring for each of your respective areas at Department of Ag? And because there are the internship opportunities, and you guys are going to be working with young people and showing them the ropes. Christine, I know you said you're always working on programs to incorporate farmers, like local people. I know, of course, heading into the holiday months, obviously you guys are going to do like the Christmas tree programs. And
Yes.
so what do you guys
So
got going on?
We actually have an Earth Day. Remember the event we did at Cross Island Road for Earth Day? It was our first DOAG event. Well, we're having a part 2. That's coming up in October. So that's down the road somewhat, and we'll talk about that more as we get closer. But that's something to look forward to. Again, a cohesive agency activity that everybody seems to really enjoy. and it brought the team together, which was really cool. Because Chris is all the way out in Teadsden, we never see him. So we have that, the Christmas tree chipping. I'm pretty sure we can count on that. As long as the chipper is up and running, we'll be able to provide that service for at least that window. But jumping in, the more recent stuff is we're getting the requests for tree plantings, and we're going to handle that in small groups for now. But we still have, we have several thousand trees that need to go out, and we're going to hope for volunteers to step forward in groups. Call us and let us know that you want to be part of it, and we can schedule those planting events.
Right on. Okay,
for
so
our managed sites.
Yeah, so how about the rest of you and everything? And I just realized of the 5 people that we have here in the Zoom room from Department of Agriculture, 3 of you are named Chris. So just jump in as you see fit.
Sorry, I should have specified the Chris.
No worries, no worries.
I don't see Chris Rosario on my screen.
We got to call like one of you Bobak, and then the other one like Chris too, and then Christine.
Well, I guess I could say a little bit about what's going on here at Department of, at least at our biosecurity division. So I am talking with some people at the USDA, and we're actually looking to mail out our queen bees for genetic testing, and we're actually going to look at to see if the bees are actually viable for actual like a queen bee export industry. So we're obviously we're really starting to initiate this this potential industry where Guam can actually export queen bees. But of course, this does take quite a bit of a process. But for us to actually start now, it's because the U.S. now has us Guam in its radar for potential viable queens. What I've seen in the past 7 years that I've been doing the research is that our queens are actually much healthier than the queens in the mainland U.S. especially. So like all over the world right now with bees dying, if Guam can really serve as an export, that would be a huge potential for and all of our queens will come out of our 70 beekeepers that we have, that has been brewing for the past 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty big. I'd say it's a pretty big step for Guam and the bee industry. Our beekeeping industry is still continuing to grow, and I really got to thank Department of Ag for putting me in the forefront so that we could be able to push forward for a potential export.
Yeah, does Guam's climate, Chris, is it very conducive for either bee production or just for bees just to thrive as biological creatures?
Well, I think part of it is isolation. Isolation was a huge, I think, was a big key for the evolution of our queen bee. And so so to speak, in Saipan, I'll be going to Saipan to also look at some of the bee genetics there, because the bees there in Saipan, although have this pest, but then don't have the diseases that are vectored by that pest. So is it merely isolation that's keeping the bees healthy in Saipan? Yes, they have the parasite, but then they don't have the virus. And then those are the types of questions that that some of the researchers, some of the bee experts in the mainland U.S. are asking. So it's not just in Guam, but also the Marianas Islands, the region in general.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make sure to follow up with you with that, because that sounds like something that we would definitely like to see how this progresses and everything. Guys, I got about maybe 2 minutes and everything, so I'd like to ask Frank and then Ursula and then her partner Chris, if you guys can just jump in and just give us a quick update on what you'll be working on.
Okay, so for me, I've been working a lot on the CARES Act. So our deadline has passed for the first round of funding. There will be a second round of funding coming up. It's to be announced when we're going to start registration, but we're just waiting for our spend plan to be approved. For me, my project, I'm working on market research right now for to conduct a feasibility study or to contract vendors to conduct a aquaculture feasibility study in Guam for inland or in water. So if any of you out there feel like you are part of that market, you can contact me at 735-0288 and let me know, and you can be, a candidate for a vendor for this project.
All right, right on, Frank. Thanks as always. And Miss Ursula and Chris, what have you guys got going on?
Well, we're really excited in partnership to announce the premiere in partnership with PBS. We're announcing a new series with PBS University Higher Learning. I'm sure you'll see some familiar faces. It is focused on local farming. So we've got 9 episodes. It starts today. The first episode starts today. It'll premiere on Tuesday, a new episode every Tuesday to rerun on the following Thursday. So you can at 2:30. So download the app, the PBS Guam app, or you can watch it on YouTube. So we're gonna feature, the first one will be with the history of farming in the Marianas, and we're gonna touch on everything from different agricultural opportunities or entrepreneurial opportunities in agriculture, down to Suruhana and their use of ama and the plants and the way that our plants have fed and healed us. 9 episodes, so tune in, and we're really excited to share that with you guys. And Chris is going to talk about the fabulous nursery.
Right on. So right now, we're trying to offer the people of Guam a wider selection of herbs and vegetables. And due to a demand out there, we're now going to try to offer Genovese basil. We're trying carrots out of India, a variety that is really heat tolerant. A few sweet peppers for those who find local peppers a little too spicy. And rosemary, Armenian cucumbers, pechay, and Chinese lettuce. So stop on by.
Yeah, come visit us.
Man, okay, but
Thank
it's
you
a
for
good thing
having
it's
us,
raining
you
today, because
guys.
today's definitely a soup day, and you guys have given us some things to think about as far as like garnishes for soup and everything. So you guys know better than anybody how much of a blessing it is to soak up the sun literally for yourself or for your plants and everything like that. But we're gonna enjoy the rain today too. So thanks you guys for having on. We always appreciate the time.
Enjoy us, everyone. Thank
All right,
you.
have a wonderful day. Please stay safe, my friends.
All right.
Bye.
9:32 on the link. Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, Jack in the Box, and ITNE proud to sponsor the link on this 22nd day of June. It is a Tuesday, and now Sabrina Salas Mantanani joins us live from Las Vegas for our next segment. Good morning again.
Right before we head into the break.